Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.
A very good evening and thanks so much for joining us this Friday. I'm Samantha Harrelson. Jay and Janelle are off this evening. We begin our newscast with a surprise announcement from North Korea. The isolated nation says it's suspending nuclear and long-range missile tests. The move comes ahead of planned meetings with both South Korea and the United States. But the North's motives behind the changes are unclear. CBS's Mola Langhi is at the White House with more tonight.
North Korea announced Friday it is suspending nuclear and long-range missile tests. They also plan to close a nuclear test site in the north of the country. State-controlled media says the move is to shift North Korea's national focus and improve the economy. But leader Kim Jong-un said the North no longer needs to conduct tests because it has completed weaponizing nuclear arms.
The big question is whether they'd take that more significant step of actually freezing their production of weapons-grade materials and how the U.S. and other powers could verify it.
President Trump tweeted, "This is very good news for North Korea and the world. Big progress. Look forward to our summit." Earlier this week, the president expressed caution.
If I think that it's a meeting that is not going to be fruitful, we're not going to go. If the meeting, when I'm there, is not fruitful, I will respectfully leave the meeting.
President Trump has already declared the summit historic and has made North Korea's nuclear threat his top foreign policy priority. It's unclear how long the North's suspension might last or if there are any strings attached. The surprise announcement also comes ahead of talks next week between Kim Jong-un and South Korea's President Moon. Mola Langhi, CBS News, the White House.
The South called North Korea's announcement meaningful progress. Republican U.S. Senate candidate Troy Downing was cited last year for buying in-state hunting licenses when he allegedly wasn't a legal resident of Montana. But Downing says he is certainly a resident and did nothing wrong. Tonight, MTN's Mike Dennison reports on why these charges escalated.
A state game warden cited Downing last summer, alleging the Big Sky businessman improperly acquired in-state hunting licenses from 2011 through 2017. Downing has asked for a jury trial, and the case at Gallatin County Justice Court already is thick with lengthy motions, cross motions, orders, and other filings.
It's crazy. I mean, my lawyer told me that he's never seen a 3-day jury trial on a misdemeanor citation. I mean, they have doubled down on it.
The trial is scheduled for May 23rd in Bozeman, 2 weeks before the June 5th primary election, when Downing is trying to win a 4-way GOP primary to take on Democratic U.S. Senator Jon Tester this fall. Downing also faces charges that he improperly got a state hunting license for his son and used his license to tag an elk shot by someone else 7 years ago. The state has acquired records it says will show Downing maintained a home in California and spent extensive time outside Montana while claiming residency in Big Sky. Downing and his lawyers say the state law on residency for hunting licenses is unconstitutional, and therefore most of the charges should be dismissed.
The way it's written is, I would say that 3/4 of Montana is not eligible for an in-state license if that stands.
Downing also says the case against him is politically motivated because it didn't come up until he's running for office.
I have never had a problem in my life until I filed for office. In the end of the day, I did exactly what everybody else watching this right now are.
The Fish, Wildlife, and Parks officials say that's simply not true, and that the case started well before Downing decided to run for the U.S. Senate. The investigation dates back to late 2013, when the State Revenue Department told FWP about tax records showing a possible discrepancy with Downing's claim of residency for hunting purposes. Fish and Game officials say the case had some delays before they finally contacted Downing last summer. But they say it's not unusual and called it a common type investigation. Reporting from Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
Thank you, Mike. And Mike tells us Downing says he moved to Big Sky permanently in 2009 and has been a registered voter in the state since 2010. Tonight, a new warning for anyone who has recently bought any type of romaine lettuce. If you don't know where it was grown, throw it out. A deadly E. coli outbreak is spreading and it's hitting close to home. 7 people have been affected here in Montana already. Here's Don Dollar with the update.
At least 60 people have been sickened by E. coli tainted lettuce. The widening outbreak has prompted the Centers for Disease Control to urge people to throw out any type of romaine lettuce they may have, not just the chopped variety, and not buy any new romaine unless they can be certain it doesn't come from southwest Arizona. The area around Yuma is where 90% of the nation's winter romaine comes from, grown between November and March. And although the exact source hasn't been identified, the CDC strongly suspects that region is the culprit. 16 states have reported cases, and the CDC says more people than normal are going to the hospital with symptoms. Officials aren't sure why this E. coli strain appears to be more severe than most. Symptoms include painful stomach cramps, diarrhea, and nausea. Doctors say with treatment, most people recover, but in rare cases, E. coli infection can lead to kidney failure. Don Daler, CBS News, New York.
Back here in Montana, while the school year may be coming to a close, election season is coming into full swing, and that includes some Yellowstone County schools. You can expect your ballots to arrive in the mail soon, and this election is mail-in only. 4 school districts are vying for mill levy approvals. Broadview, Laurel, Lockwood, and Pioneer schools are all hoping for a wide range of dollar amounts to invest in their schools. The election is Tuesday, May 8th. And the most expensive and expansive levy falls in Lockwood. Back in February, the Lockwood School Board of Trustees unanimously approved a nearly $50 million bond proposal to introduce a high school to their district. Today, Q2's Zoe Zandora spoke with Lockwood's superintendent and joins us now with more. Zoe?
That's right, Samantha. I spoke with Tobin Navaggio about the new high school and what voters can expect if it's a green light on Election Day for the $49.9 million expansion. If passed and ground is broken, you can expect to see an extensive list of new construction and additions to the existing land, including a building to hold up to 700 students, along with an auditorium of the same size and even a 3,000-person gym. Navaggio says they have tried to take a long-term approach with this, including the cost of operations and maintenance and a focus on community.
The reason why the bond is at $49.9 million, there's a lot of other improvements. One thing is we won't be a K-8 and a 9-12 district like School District 2. We'll actually be a K-12 district. One of the big things that's come up with us is the opportunity for our kids to participate. Sometimes they struggle with that, with the travel back and forth to Billings. And so this will have a football stadium, football track, and soccer stadium. Lockwood, the school, is really the center of our community. So the high school actually has a large meeting room that'll be available for the community. And then our plans are also to have the library be open as a community library as well.
Navaggio also says the project is designed so that the high school is viable in 20 to 50 years, something they aren't going to have to go back to taxpayers in 5 to 10 years. If passed, the first graduating class will be the students who are in the 6th grade right now. Samantha?
Zoe, and turning to weather, Bob, a beautiful day today, but of course that warming up means flooding for some people.
Yeah, it's like a double-edged sword. We've got some high winds moving into northwest Montana. High winds this time of year means Chinook winds. Chinook winds melt snow. That's not what we need. Take a look at this. Here's what's going to happen tomorrow morning. You'll notice we're looking at some winds moving into northwest Montana. And by the time, say, 5 o'clock gets here, we're going to look at 40-mile-per-hour winds over in Cutbank. This will be the next cold front that's starting to make its way into the region. And as you know, those downsloping winds melt the snow, and that's what's happening out there. We've got a lot of places where we have flood warnings, high wind warnings, wind advisories. And you'll notice, especially here in the green, that's where we have some flooding going on. Lodge Creek there at the international border, it's up to 8.8, almost to 10 feet in some cases. And we're looking at flood stage at 7. Meanwhile, the Milk River is at 26.4 feet, and flood stage there is 23. So the low-lying area is still at risk because we still have a lot of snowpack, and it is still melting very rapidly. Our forecast here in the Billings area is going to be pretty toasty for this weekend. We'll chat about that coming up in a few more minutes.
Sounds good, Bob. Thank you. It is Girl Scout cookie season, and one local troop is looking to fulfill a Scout sister's dream. Chloe Lai, a 4th grader at St. Francis, died in February from influenza. The Girl Scout had a goal of selling 3,000 boxes of cookies. Now the Girl Scouts and Chloe's family will be selling them for her. Girl Scout Troop 2435 will sell cookies at all 4 Master Lube locations in Billings. The plan is for Girl Scouts to sell cookies from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The girls are helping Chloe's parents who want to sell until they reach those 3,000 boxes.
With the outpouring that we've already got, I am so blown away. My co-leader Elizabeth and I just look at each other and we get tears in our eyes because we live in such an amazing place. just very proud to be part of it. And I don't know what to expect tomorrow, but it's going to be good.
Tammy Deagle says the idea came from Chloe's dad, Hoi Lai, who wants to achieve one of his daughter's goals. Troop 2435 has invited other Girl Scouts from troops in Billings to help them sell cookies.